Hey, Cub fans. This is Randy Talks Cubs. Thanks for joining us. We're going to talk a little bit about the Padres. We've got a three-game series coming up with them this week. And I know we played them just a few weeks ago, but I thought it'd be good to kind of go back, check on them, see how they've been doing. So let's go ahead and do that. The Padres lost on Sunday to the Diamondbacks 11-4, and that loss dropped them down to a game under 500. So they're going to be coming into Wrigley on Monday night at 18-19 overall in second place in the National League West Division. They have a run differential of 11, and most of their numbers that I see, team numbers, team hitting, team pitching, are at least average or above. They're a little higher ranking on the offensive stats than they are the pitching stats. But let's go through some of those, give you an idea. They are fourth in team average at 258. They are seventh in the league in on-base percentage at 324, and they're fifth in slug at 410, and seventh overall in OPS at 734. So those are some pretty good team slash lines. They've got 39 home runs, so they're ranked sixth there. So they're hitting some home runs, and they walk eighth most. So yeah, but offensively, they've got some guys that are playing pretty well. So some of the names and most of the names are ones that we've seen. So there's not really any surprises here. Jurickson Profar is their most productive player offensively. He leads the team in several offensive categories. His slash line is really good. 347, 435 on base, 542 slug for a 977 OPS. Leads the team in hits at 41, 23 RBIs, 21 strikeouts, 18 walks, 5 home runs. So their left fielder, Jurickson Profar, playing pretty well. Jake Cronenworth leads them at RBIs. He's got 25. He's hitting 281, 352 on base, 508 slug, 860 OPS. He's got 36 hits and 6 home runs. Fernando Tatis Jr. leads them in home runs with 7. He's hitting 245, 329 on base, 446 slug, 777 OPS. Their center fielder Jackson Merrill hitting 277 with 328 on base, 357 slug for a 685 OPS. Manny Machado, 5 home runs, hitting 258. He got off to a slow start, as I recall. Got his on-base percentage up 312. He's slugging 414, OPS 726. So not big numbers for Manny Machado. Xander Bogaerts, looks like he's down a little bit. He's only hitting 216, slugging 294. His OPS is 573 for second baseman Xander Bogaerts. Their catcher, Luis Campusano, he's hitting 266 with a 304 on base, 698 OPS. Shortstop Hassan Kim, he's hitting 211 with a 706 OPS. Third baseman Tyler Wade, hitting 258, 347 on base, and just a 288 slug, not slugging at all, 635 OPS. They've got Eggy Rosario hitting 250, but he's slugging 542 with an 836 OPS. Jose Azocar hitting 300 with a 349 on base. Not much slug at 325, 674 OPS. And newly acquired Luis Arias, acquired from the Marlins, 137 at-bats with the Marlins, just under 300 at 299, 347 on base, 372 slug for a 716 OPS. He had 41 hits, no home runs for Luis. So looks like I think Luis led off for them on Sunday. So that's what we can look for. Not a lot of surprises. I think that's about what I sort of expected to see, and that's what we're going to get offensively. Let's talk about what the pitchers that we're going to face look like. as of I don't know, maybe a couple days ago, they had Joe Musgrove scheduled to start against us on Tuesday. He's been pulled out. It looks like they placed him on the injured list, and I guess there's some scuttlebutt about a possible trade in the works. I don't know. I don't follow the Padres that much, but in my notes I had Musgrove down for Tuesday, but after checking it, he's not there. So on Monday, it's going to be Darvish versus Steele. That's awesome. Darvish and Steele on a Monday night in Wrigley. You can't ask for anything more than that. Then it's going to be Shota Imanaga on Tuesday. Don't know who the Padres are going to throw at us. And then the matchup on Wednesday is going to be really intense. Dylan Cease is going to be going up against Hayden Wesneski. So Monday and Wednesday's pitching matchups are awesome. So the pitchers and the staff for the Padres have an ERA of 4.10, which ranks 20th in the league. They've got a 1.25 whip, ranks 13th in the league. They've given up 41 home runs, which is tied for fourth most in the league. So they're giving up some slug, looks like. They're striking out some people. High strikeout numbers, and their walk rate is pretty low. So it looks like they're giving up some slug, but average of 238 is 14th, so that's right in the middle. So better numbers on the offensive side, still really decent numbers with the pitchers. And let's go through some of the numbers for the starters, and I'll show you what they've got in relief. Darvish. In 6 starts this year, he's thrown 28 2/3. ERA decent at 3.45, 25 Ks, 10 walks, good whip 1.15, good average against 219. So I would say that's about what you would expect out of you, Darvish. I'm not surprised. That's about right. I don't know what we're going to do on Tuesday, so we'll worry about that when it gets here. But Dylan Cease on Wednesday. Dylan's had 7 starts, 42 1/3 innings, ERA of 2.55, 48 Ks, 14 walks, .8 whip, 140 average against. So those are really good numbers. It just struck me literally as I said that I looked at Dylan Cease's ERA, and I was 2.55, and I'm thinking, with the ERA that our starters are carrying around here lately, it's really too good. We can't sustain it, right? I mean, we're talking about some sub 1 ERAs. I mean, come on. So I looked at the 2.55 ERA for Dylan Cease, and I mentally smirked. Dylan Cease 2.55, but we know he was good. He was really good against us a few weeks back. So Going to be good matchups. In terms of relievers, they have a closer. Looks like a pure closer. Robert Suarez has 10 saves in 10 opportunities. His ERA is .66. His whip is .8. His average against is 159. 10 saves, 10 opportunities. Nobody else has any save opportunities on the staff, so he's their closer. So that's what we can look forward to. He's a right-hander. We've got some lefties coming out of the pen that are doing pretty good. Wandy Peralta, 16 games, 14 1/3, .98 whip, 4.40 ERA. Yuki Matsui is 16 games, 15 1/3 innings. His ERA is 2.35, 1.11 whip. So those two lefties are having success. A couple 3 righties here. We've got Iñigo de los Santos, 16 games, 13 2/3, sub 2 ERA at 1.98, sub 1 whip 0.95. Stephen Kolek in 16 games. He's pitched 16 2/3 innings, 3.78 ERA, 1.56 whip. And Johnny Brito, 11 games, 15 1/3 innings, 4.11 ERA with a 1.30 whip. So, yeah, I don't know what we're facing on Tuesday for a starter, but obviously Darvish and Dylan Cease are formidable. They've got a closer for sure. Got a couple good lefties that come out of the pen. I don't know, maybe they're their middle relief might be vulnerable. We'll see. But if Darvish goes 7 and they get to Suarez in the ninth, that could be trouble. So we need to get to it. So that's what we're looking like. We've got the Padres in for 3 games at 6:40 on Monday, 6:40 on Tuesday, and then 1:20 on Wednesday afternoon. And I think it's an important 3 games for us, coming off what we did with the Brewers, 3 home games before we go on an off day on the 9th, and then on the road for a trip to Pittsburgh and then to Atlanta. Knowing that Belly and Seiya are scheduled to come back sometime after that, but it'd really be nice to kind of finish this run off with a sweep of these Padres, not have a letdown. We'll carry this momentum moving forward, and bridging that gap between what we've been through with all the injuries and the slumps and the defensive lapses and the base running mistakes, all that stuff, and we still find ourselves at 21-14. I'd like to carry that through and build on that, so that when Belly and Seiya get back and we kind of figure out who's going where, we got that momentum. So I don't want any letdowns this week against the Padres, and I don't really expect any. I feel like we're on the run, and confidence level is starting to really be high across the board. So should be a good series with the Padres this week. I'm looking forward to it. Good matchups. Looking forward to seeing Darvish throw, and obviously see what Steele looks like. See Shota again. I mean, and Wesneski. I mean, it's awesome. It's like who's pitching today is a question that we don't ask a lot anymore. It used to be that was kind of the question. Back in the day, you would go, well, who's pitching? You'd be going to a game, and it was really important to you to know who was starting, because starters were so important. And that's sort of how it feels like now again, like who's throwing for the Cubs today. And whoever you name, there's entertainment value in that. There's optimism in that. When you show up every game now, knowing that any of our starters, you expect them to go 6. You expect them to maybe not give anything up. That's really cool. That feels really good. So Steele, Shota, and Wesneski, yeah. I look at it this way. If I'm a Padre fan and I see that lineup, I'm like, well, that's going to be trouble. Steele, Shota, and Wesneski, with what's been coming out of the bullpen lately too. So I guess we're in the driver's seat, and it's time to put the hammer down, I think. Let's turn this thing on. So 3 games against the Pods this week. Should be a ball. Guys, thanks for joining me here on Randy Talks Cubs. Really appreciate it. We'll talk soon. Go Cubs, go.